As we look toward the future, one of the most important and often overlooked financial considerations is long-term care. And whether it's planning for your own needs or supporting loved ones, the costs associated with extended care can have a significant impact on your financial security. Casey Elkins and Mark Stimson from Elevated Financial Management are back. Hello.
Hey, Kelly, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you for being here. Such an important topic.
Yep.
So really, let's just get right into how important long-term care to a retirement plan is.
Yeah, we talk about this with every client that comes in our office. I lost my mother about a month ago now, and she dealt with being in a facility for only about a week. So we were very fortunate as a family in that regard. A lot of our clients, that's not the case, and it can be staggering how expensive this is. In fact, we've got some clients that are pushing $20,000 a month for one person.
That's what I've heard.
So if there's going to be something that could blow up a really wonderful laid out plan for retirement, that's going to be the atom bomb that's going to go off. So this is a subject that we're going to talk about why people don't want to talk about it. But if we don't and we don't address it, it can really mess your family up, especially our loved ones, right? Because it's usually our children that are going to have to deal with this if we don't want to face and talk about it.
Yeah, we have the burden there, and I'm so sorry for your loss too.
Thank
as
you.
well. And why do so many people, like you mentioned, not want to talk about long-term care?
You know, it's just not really a fun conversation, to be really frank. It just isn't, right?
No.
Dealing with your own mortality and then looking at the actual financial burden that it can bring. It's not a fun conversation for clients. It's really not a fun conversation for us either. But the point is that it's a very important conversation because without addressing that concern for long-term care, all the hard work that you've done over the years to build your retirement, to create income in retirement and enjoy those golden years can quickly disappear when you have an added unexpected cost, as Mark mentioned, of $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month. Realistically, that's more than a lot of people have just as their income in retirement. So if your other expenses don't just disappear when you need long-term care, especially if you're married, your spouse may not need long-term care if it's just you. So now you're in a long-term care facility, but the spouse's expenses continue on. They still have their life to live. So it really can derail a retirement plan and can spell disaster if it's not addressed.
And you all work with so many people, so I'm sure you've heard a ton of stories that really illustrate how important this is.
Yeah, in fact, we've recently had some, I want to say they're negative stories, right? Health changed immediately like a light switch. And again, for clients that, you know, are worried about what am I going to do if I get in this situation? And, you know, if you face this, I just want to say, please talk about it as a family. Don't put it in the closet and, you know, like Casey mentioned, we don't want to talk about it because we're having to face our own mortality, right? But, and we've got lots of different stories where this has not worked out the right way or how it was planned because our health can change like a light switch, right? On and off. So please, if you're watching today, talk about it. You know, talk with your financial planner. If they don't bring this up, maybe you should think about talking to another planner just a little bit because this is something that'll derail it and it can be devastating how quick it can happen.
You know, we've had some really good stories too, though. We've had folks that have done good planning and the family has prepared. And it's actually worked out really well, where one spouse needed long-term care and they could go to a wonderful facility. The family felt comfortable with the care that they were getting, and the other spouse was able to continue on without feeling that financial burden. So with the right type of planning, it can be a success story too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you talk about the importance of long-term care in your book along with so many other things. So tell everyone about the book.
Yeah, Break the Glass we're proud of that. It's our second book. And we talk about long-term care in the book and how important it is, along with why tax planning is so important. This really all is going to come back to having a plan. That's why we spend all the time teaching. We taught a class last night at Green River College. And so, again, with a plan, it can help alleviate the stress and the potential disaster financially because we've addressed long-term care and so much other things that affect retirement in our book, Break the Glass.
Definitely. Where can people get the book, too?
Well, if they go to breaktheglassbook.com, we're more than happy to send a copy out to everybody, to the listeners, to the watchers. And, it's something that it's a valuable tool. It's meant to be read by retirees. It's not a textbook. It's easily digestible, takes about an hour or so, and it really helps lay the foundation for those financial concepts that you need to know to build a successful retirement.
Definitely. And you see the QR code too right there too. You can scan for more information about the book. Thank you so much. I know it's a hard conversation like you both said, but definitely one that we all need to start having. So thank you.
New Day Northwest is sponsored by Elevated Financial Management.